Hi, my name is Greg, Soul Searching Gaijin, that's me. Today I just wanted to do a quick little video about performing live. I just finished my sixth show as a solo electronic artist, and I did pretty well. I really enjoyed it. I think it went over really well. But there were some things that I I would have liked to have done a little bit differently. Nothing huge, but things that I made a video about this after the first show that I did over a year ago, and I didn't listen to my advice. So I just kind of think it's just nice to share some of the little lessons I learned. I would say the first few things that got me were I wanted to record the set on video, which I did, and you're seeing right now up in the corner. But I also wanted to record the audio, and there's two ways that I can do that. And I chose to, for fail-safe reasons, go with a, do I have it over here? No, it's over back there. A Zoom recorder. And I set it up and visually got levels, but I didn't use headphones to check what the signal sounded like. And I guess the cable was bad or something, but I got a lot of static. Maybe it was a sample rate or something. I don't know, but that's just kind of rushing. So, of course, I only have my camera audio from that, which, you're hearing now. But I was a little bummed because I really wanted a high quality recording of the show, and that just goes to reinforce the fact that, like, when you're performing, there's so many variables. I mean, first, there's the room. That was another thing that got me. I didn't take. I had a lot of time for a live sound check, and I guess in some ways I was kind of cocky or just relieved in the sense that I got my equipment set up very quickly. It's a little complicated, the setup, and in moving everything, things can jar. And I just wanted to make sure that everything was working properly, was in sync, all my connections were solid, and I didn't have any like things that cut in and cut out. And in some ways, I just got weird, and I really should have played through, or at least cycled through every section of my set to see how it really sounded in the room, see if there was any frequencies that really popped out. But for some reason, I just, there was some people there, and I didn't necessarily want to like play through parts of the set and then just, like an hour later play the same thing for the same people. So I just very quickly went through things, and I was okay. Everything was working. It sounded pretty decent, and I got my levels quickly in the room. Okay. But what I did not do, like I said, was check the audio on the recorder for the show. That was one. Another thing that I did was at the last minute I set up my camera, like right before my camera. I had to bring a lot of stuff. So my wife came to this show. So she actually brought the camera, and she didn't get there until after the first performer was about to go on, and I wasn't comfortable messing around with my camera while he was playing because it's kind of rude. So as soon as he got done, I just really quickly jumped up and like set the camera up and just kind of framed a shot real quick. And there was just, I would say, if you can have somebody come with you and manage your, if you're going to record to an external device, have them like monitor it so they can adjust levels and identify if something sounds weird. I mean, if I would have just put headphones in and checked to see what it sounded like and not just visually look at the levels, I would have caught that. And then having to worry about setting up the camera and all that, that just kind of like it it's a little bit of a distraction. I mean, I kind of wish I was a little more focused before I started playing the set. I started out really well. I made a mistake On my second piece, I was using a live looper and I forgot to shut the looper off as I started because I did not need it for the second piece. And then so things got a little weird and muddy. And then I had that immediately from the gate, about 8 minutes in, kind of just jarred me a bit. I was like, whoa, where's that sound coming from? What's happening? That's not supposed to happen. And something as simple as that is enough to take you out of the flow. And worrying about setting the camera up, just not being really centered and focused and calm when you start. And so that brings up another thing. Every room sounds different, and this one did not have the best sound system. It was a very resonant room. And during that second piece, where I messed up with the live looper, there was a frequency that I could have identified if I had taken more time during the sound check that was literally making something rattle. And that was driving me crazy. So that totally took my focus off of what I was doing and how I was playing, how I was progressing through what I was playing. And I was worried about, oh my God, that sound is driving me crazy. That's annoying. If it's annoying me, it's annoying them. And also, once I got through that, I was okay. But the nature of the room, everything sounded so when I'm practicing in my studio, I have headphones on and I'm in the best possible listening environment. I can hear everything very clearly what I'm doing. And normally, often, I will say not normally because I haven't done it all the time, but I would say about half the time I've taken small in-ear headphones and I'll monitor what I'm doing through them. And I found those performances come out much better because what I'm playing, it sounds like when I'm in the studio and I have the same feel. I did not do that on this show. I don't know why. And though the music was fine, I could hear everything, it was loud enough. There was a lot of resonance and natural reverb in the room because it was a very dry, big room with very little dampening at all. And everything sounded so completely different that I was not hearing the detail. I was not feeling the bass in a way that I normally would. And just that little bit of variability actually kind of took a little bit of mental space in my mind while I was performing and just took me off my focus a bit. So I would say, next show for me, I'm definitely going to monitor in headphones. The reason I didn't was because I was kind of concerned. I knew the room sounded strange and I wanted to be able to adjust if I heard anything kind of really pop out that I need to like maybe, oh God, this bass is just blown out. Let me turn things down a little bit. But like I said, if I would have taken a little bit more time in my sound check, that would not have been an issue and I would have been more comfortable with headphones on and I think I would have performed a little bit better. All that being said, it was a really good show. And definitely, I don't think you realize this was, like I said, my sixth show that I've done doing this. And I still have to remind myself that like, no matter how well rehearsed or confident you feel about your set, there's always variables that pop up. And the biggest variable is you're in front of people. You're in a room which you're not used to the sound. And all of these things kind of can be slight distractions, and you want to eliminate as many of those distractions as possible so you can really just relax and focus on what you're doing. This set relied on me improvising a lot, so I really needed to be in the flow, and I found there was about 4 or 5 times that I kind of got tripped up, and it really took me a good like 20-30 seconds to recover, to kind of gain back my composure. And in those times I had good source material and things that I could rely on. So it didn't really come across in the music that I was like floundering in my head, but I knew it. And that was enough for me to not feel confident about what I was doing. So at the end of the show, I was kind of bummed. I was like, oh man, all those things you could have done so much better. But it wasn't until I actually came back and salvaged the audio from the camera. I did quite a bit of EQing to kind of make it listenable. And I actually sat down in a different environment and just didn't watch, just listened through the whole thing. And I was pleasantly surprised. I did much better than I thought. But the biggest thing I think you can take away from this is like you really have to quiet your mind, and as prepared as you can be, that's great. The more prepared you can be, the more relaxed you're going to be. The less variables you have. Like I said, I always try to record, videotape and record the audio of these shows, and I have yet to really be successful. I've captured a couple of them really well, but unfortunately they weren't the best shows ever, and I didn't necessarily want to present that to people. There's a learning process in this. I'm getting better every time and more confident every time. But I'm definitely next time I'm going to try to have somebody handle my camera and try to at least check in the beginning and monitor that the sound is good on on my recorder, just to kind of take that pressure off so I can really just kind of focus on really what I want to have happen, which is to perform the music to the best of my ability and give the best perform the best show that I can, present everything in a really nice way for the audience so they enjoy it. So I hope you learned something. I know I ramble a little bit, but I thought these were pretty valuable lessons and ones that I'm still learning every time I get up on stage. All right, y'all. Best of luck in your shows and in your music. And I hope life is treating you well. Talk to you soon.